Right everyone, a bit more of a standard video for you today on the channel as we round up what's happening at Celtic and take a little bit of a peek forward at the weekend. We've also got some press conference footage from the B team camp. I was at a press conference with them yesterday. Lots of interesting stuff in there and a few other bits and bobs, so plenty of stuff to get into. At this stage, you're probably sick, fed up of me going on about how amazing the last couple of days have been for the channel. Obviously, we're all Celtic fans. We're kind of pleased with how Sunday went. And as a nice added bonus, the channel has gone absolutely nuts over the last 72 hours or so since full time. Our reaction we did, me and Stevie on Sunday, has got over 40,000 views. I think it'll probably become our highest viewed video ever in the next couple of days or so. The video I did the following day is close to 40k as well, and even the one we did yesterday with Scott McDonald I think has about 20,000 and growing all the time. So massive. On top of all that, we are just getting new subscribers by the barrel load. We had less than 27,000 leading up to the derby. That was a big push to get to 27k. Carol Starfelt, etc. We're now at that number, so really not too far off 28k at all. I've seen plenty of new usernames popping up in the comments and it's very refreshing to see. And if you are someone who has just found the channel over the last couple of days, maybe you just subscribed in the last day or so, then yeah, pop up as well, say hi. Say who you are, you don't have to say where you're from, and join the wonderful 67 Hail community. They're good people, our subscribers, apart from that one person that we don't really talk about. Their username is... Okay, so what's happening at Celtic? Well, at the time of recording, about 12:30 on Wednesday afternoon, we are pretty neatly positioned between Sunday's glorious, heroic victory at Ibrox and the upcoming game against St Johnstone on Saturday at Celtic Park. So it seems like quite a good time to just check in and see what's happening at Celtic. I want to start with the Champions League. You know, the group stage of that competition is one that Celtic could well be playing in next season if we get 13 more points in the Scottish Premiership this campaign. A reminder, if you need it, and you probably shouldn't, that at present the Scottish League winners will enter the playoff round of the Champions League next season. However, if this season's Champions League winner also qualifies through their league position this season, then the Scottish League winner will go straight into the group stage. Further complicating matters is the whole Russian element. Their clubs are banned from UEFA competition at the moment, and that could also see us straight into the group stage if we win the league. But regardless of that, last night was a good night from a Celtic point of view. You may not be a massive fan of seeing English teams doing well, but it was good news for us last night with Liverpool and Manchester City both taking a little bit of a step towards the semi-finals of the competition. Both of those sides are nailed on for Champions League qualification through their league position and are both real contenders to win the competition itself this season. That would be good news, of course, for Celtic for the reasons I've just outlined. Tonight, we are all Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. I know there's further complications with teams like Chelsea still probably going to get a top 4 spot, but I'm just telling you right now, if Real Madrid and Bayern Munich go through their ties and Man City and Liverpool do likewise, then we'll be in a wonderful position should we win the league. And that wonderful position will be the Champions League group stage. Now on to more immediate matters, although they are still a few days and weeks away. A couple of refereeing developments to inform you of. First of all, for the Cup semi-final at Hampden against Rangers a week on Sunday, 2 p.m, that will be refereed by Bobby Madden, with Alan Mulvaney and Dougie Potter assisting him, and Stephen McLean as the 4th official. That always ends well, of course. Meanwhile, this Saturday against St Johnstone, we'll see Andrew Dallas back in the middle. Oh, great. He'll be assisted by Sean Carr and Jonathan Bell, with Alan Muir as the 4th official. I swear they just put these names into a random name generator and see who's going to come out as the assistants. But anyway, that's probably not important. The main thing is Andrew Dallas this weekend, Bobby Madden the following weekend. So let's see how that goes. Now moving on, and Paddy Roberts, remember him, spoke to Ange Postecoglou in the summer about a move back to Celtic Park. The Athletic's Kieran Devlin reported on Monday that Ange spoke with the former Invincible but was not convinced that Roberts had the single-mindedness he looks for in a Celtic signing. Soon after that, we signed Jota, and you'd be hard-pressed to find any Celtic fans unhappy about that. You can't really grumble with the return we've had from him. This Celtic team has incredible resolve, and we saw that in all its glory on Sunday afternoon, conceding such an early goal at Ibrox in a hostile environment against a pretty decent team and still coming back to win the game. I mean, even Borussia Dortmund couldn't really deal with Rangers at times 6 weeks ago, and it shows the strength of the squad Ange is building. A really good footballing team, but a team with a lot of resolve as well, and hopefully people are starting to realise that. Ange isn't going to sign players just because they know the club, or dare I say it, the city, trap Celtic have fallen into in the past. He's going to bring in good players with the right mentality, and it's just further evidence that just because a player's talented and just because he's succeeded at Celtic, even in the past, in Roberts' case, if Ange doesn't get the good feeling from them and the feeling that they're going to give everything for the club and run through brick walls and be part of this close-knit bunch, then he's not going to go through with the signing. And I think it just gives me more and more hope for the future. I mean, we've got such a close-knit and beyond anything else, a likeable Celtic team. I can't remember a team that I wanted to root for as much as this Celtic team. Obviously, being a Celtic fan my whole life, you always want Celtic to win. But I feel extra pride in seeing this team happy, like on Sunday, for example, because I know that these players are just giving their absolute all, both for themselves, I dare say, their family and friends, but also for the badge as well. And, that's, I think, along with Ange, why so many fans have been so invested in this team this season, right from the start of the season. And we keep moving forward. As I've said a few times over the last few days, we've still got so much to play for this season and so many more good days like Sunday ahead for Ange and his team. And so do the B team, hopefully managed by Tommy McIntyre. They've got a big game at Celtic Park on Tuesday night against Rangers B in the Lowland League. Now, just a fortnight ago, Celtic B went down 3-0 to Rangers at Ibrox. And what was a pretty poor result. They were 3-0 down very early on into that match. So we have a real chance for a little bit of revenge next week when Rangers come to hopefully a relatively noisy Celtic Park. Yesterday I got the chance to speak to McIntyre as well as the team captain, Ewan Otoo, and I'm going to let you hear what went down right now. Plenty of interesting stuff in here about philosophy, Ange's influence and the big game on Tuesday night. I've been to see the B team a few times this season, and it's clear you try and play the same way the first team do. You take short corners, inverted fullbacks, etc. Is that a message that comes from Ange Postecoglou?
Yeah, I think it's all stuff that kind of gets filtered down from the manager right down to our coaches, and then it all kind of gets instated in training. We work on it and everything to try and replicate the first team so that when someone was eventually do make that step, it's not too much of a difference in between from what we're doing to what they're doing. So, yeah.
And is there difficulties with that? I mean, I take it it's quite a demanding way of playing, fitness-wise.
Yeah, it is quite demanding, but I think all of us knew what we were in for. All of us kind of all hard-working players, all very committed. So I don't really think it's much of a problem for us. We just come in, work every day. So we don't really see it as so much of a difficulty, to be honest.
And when you've seen so many of your, fellow B team players getting first team opportunities this season, off the top of my head, the likes of Joey Dawson, numerous others, Dane Murray at the start of the season, it must kind of make you feel like you've got a first team manager there who will give you opportunities if you're performing at B team level.
Yeah, it's always very good because obviously you can see that the opportunity is there, the pathway is there. So that's what kind of keeps you motivated to work hard every day, because you know that you might well get the opportunity. When that opportunity comes, you need to be ready to take it. So, yeah.
Just finally from me, the atmosphere as well, you're hopefully looking forward. I think they're opening up the standing section as well, so it should be a good atmosphere.
Yeah, personally, I can't wait to go out there and play in front of all those fans. Hopefully put on a good show, good performance, and have the fans talking about us for next few weeks.
Hi Tommy, the first team manager Ange always speaks about the importance of putting players out of their comfort zone because that's where he believes you get the improvement. From your experience, is that something you agree with, and does playing at Celtic Park do that a little?
Yeah, most definitely. When you have that challenge, and we've had that challenge this year, it's not been easy, and some of the games have been uncomfortable for us. But they get that development. There's no point in it being too easy for them. They really need to kind of push them as much as we can, whether it's on the training field, whether it's a level of opposition that we play. Playing out here at Celtic Park will be a great occasion. Again, it'll take them out of their comfort zone because I think most of them haven't played there. They got a little bit of experience at playing at Ibrox, so I'm hopeful that they'll learn from that experience and they'll see, some good performances come Tuesday.
Yeah, and I was saying to you in a minute ago that I've watched you a few times, and you do try and play quite a similar way to the first team. Inverted fullbacks, the short corners, taking throw-ins quickly. And he said that was something that came from Ange, or was filtered down from Ange. Are you able to tell us a wee bit of why Ange felt it was so important to have like a unified playing style throughout the age groups?
Well, we've always got the autonomy to play in a style. It's not that we must play with inverted fullbacks, etc. There is that autonomy, but we try to work as closely as we can to the first team, because ultimately we're hoping that a number of these young players, as has happened this season, come through next season as well. So to have that understanding of the style of play, the manner which everyone plays, is beneficial, because when they get up there and they train with the first team, then it's not alien for them. They will understand. They will hopefully fit in. They won't seem out of place, and that's up to our job to develop them so they understand their role within the team. Whether you're a fullback that plays in the pitch, whether you're a wide player that stays high and stays wide, whether you're a number 9 that just plays on the shoulder and plays an offside, onside, where you're midfield players that play outside midfield organisations, and whether you're that we always constantly build at the back, look to progress rather than we just kick it long. So our players it's up to us to educate our players to make sure that they're on that pathway and they're on that education plan.
And just finally, you mentioned Oluwayemi a minute ago there. How talented a goalkeeper is he, and is there any obvious parts of his game you think he could really work on in the coming kind of years?
I think every player within the B team have got things that they can work on. That's the reason why they're the B, and you hopefully then they work in you work in that day to day, whether it's with Stevie Woods, whether it's with Colin Meldrum when he comes down. He's an England international. He plays under 19s with England. He's shown great maturity for someone so young. He's growing. He's got up there, and the feedback is he's doing really well up there training with the first team. So I think he'll always improve. He's that type. He's a kind of zealot for working hard. So he's in a good pathway there now. He's in the right place just now, and we'll get great hopes for Toby.
So big hopes there for Toby Oluwayemi, but plenty for him to work on, as is the case with every player in the B team. I've been to watch the B team a couple of times this season, both in Airdrie at that stadium, I think Pennycar Stadium it's called. Next Tuesday night I'm hopefully going to be there as well at Celtic Park. Should be a good night, should be a decent atmosphere, certainly a few more people there than there are usually at the home games when they play at Airdrie, and hopefully get a good bit of content for you next week as well. For now though, we're going to leave it there. I'm going to say goodbye, but I promise you, I will be back tomorrow, and we'll be building further ahead to St Johnstone at that stage.